Before embarking on our aquatic adventure, let's gather the essential tools for our artistic voyage. First and foremost, we'll need our acrylic paints, a vibrant palette of blues, greens, whites, and perhaps a touch of yellow or brown for depth. Next, we'll acquire an assortment of brushes, including round, flat, and filbert brushes, each offering a unique stroke for our watery creations. A palette knife will prove invaluable for blending and creating textured effects, while a water container and a cloth will keep our brushes clean and our colors pure. Lastly, we'll need a canvas or painting surface, the stage upon which our watery masterpiece will unfold. With our artistic arsenal assembled, we're ready to embark on our creative journey. Just as a theater stage requires preparation before a performance, our canvas deserves proper priming before we unleash our artistic vision. Gesso, a primer specifically designed for painting surfaces, acts as a foundation, providing a smooth and receptive surface for our acrylic paints to adhere to. Using a wide, flat brush, we'll apply a generous coat of gesso to our canvas, ensuring an even and consistent layer. Allow the gesso to dry completely, transforming our canvas into a pristine white expanse, ready to receive our watery creations. This smooth and absorbent surface will enhance the vibrancy of our colors and prevent the paint from seeping into the canvas weave, ensuring a polished and professional finish. With our primed canvas awaiting our artistic touch, we'll begin by laying the foundation for our water scene with an underpainting. This initial layer, often executed in diluted blues and greens, will establish the overall mood and tone of our watery expanse. Using a large, flat brush, we'll apply broad strokes of diluted blue paint to the upper portion of our canvas, suggesting the sky's reflection on the water's surface. As we move down the canvas, we'll gradually introduce greens, blending them subtly with the blues to create a sense of depth and underwater vegetation. Remember, this underpainting is merely a guide, a subtle whisper of color that will peek through our subsequent layers, adding depth and richness to our final masterpiece. Section 4. Defining the water's form, blocking in base colors. With our underpainting established, we'll now begin to define the water's form and movement by blocking in our base colors. Using a combination of round and flat brushes, we'll apply thicker layers of paint, gradually building up the water's volume and texture. For calmer waters, we'll opt for smoother, more blended strokes, while choppy waves and rushing rapids might call for more dynamic and textured brushwork. Remember to consider the direction of light and how it interacts with the water's surface, creating areas of highlight and shadow. By carefully observing and replicating these nuances, we can begin to breathe life and realism into our watery creation. Section 5. Reflections and ripples, capturing water's movement. One of the most captivating aspects of water is its ability to reflect and distort the world around it, creating a mesmerizing dance of light and movement. To capture this ethereal quality in our painting, we'll employ a technique using vertical strokes and subtle blending. Using a clean, dry brush, we'll gently drag vertical strokes of lighter blue and white paint across the water's surface, suggesting reflections of the sky, clouds, or nearby objects. To create ripples and disturbances, we can introduce short, choppy strokes of darker blues and greens, blending them softly to create a sense of movement and fluidity. By carefully observing the interplay of light and shadow, we can create a captivating illusion of depth and motion in our watery scene. Section 6. Detailing the depths, adding dimension and realism. With the water's basic form and movement established, we can now delve into the finer details, adding depth, dimension, and a touch of realism to our watery creation. Using fine-tipped brushes and a delicate touch, we can introduce subtle variations in color and tone, suggesting underwater features like rocks, seaweed, or fish. Small white highlights can be added to suggest foam, bubbles, or the sparkle of sunlight on the water's surface. Remember, less is often more when it comes to detailing. A few well-placed highlights and shadows can go a long way in creating a sense of depth and realism without overwhelming the overall composition. Section 7. The finishing touch, varnishing your masterpiece. With our watery masterpiece complete, we'll add a final layer of protection and brilliance with a coat of varnish. Varnish not only protects our painting from dust, UV rays, and the test of time, but also enhances the vibrancy of our colors, bringing a new level of depth and luminosity to our artwork. Using a wide, soft-bristled brush, we'll apply a thin, even coat of varnish to the entire surface of our painting, ensuring complete coverage. Allow the varnish to dry completely in a well-ventilated area, transforming our painting into a shimmering testament to our artistic journey. Our watery masterpiece, now protected and radiant, is ready to be displayed and admired for years to come.